Breaking news with Enid Talks. Breaking news with Enid Talks.
Hello guys, welcome to Enid Talks. I want to welcome you guys back to the channel. And if this is your first time,
Welcome to the madness.
So,
Breaking news live on Enid Talks. Screw today's topic. Breaking news live on the scene. Santi live on the scene.
Live on. I hope you were not live on the scene.
live on the
Stop. You right there. You watching the video. If you have not seen El Bloque de JG y Santi of Are the Profetas Nowadays, remember that?
Yes, sir. I remember.
If you have not seen it, stop this video, watch that, and come back. Because today, breaking news.
Okay.
False prophets.
False prophets.
False prophets.
False prophets.
Who's a false prophet?
So before anything, welcome guys. My name is Santiago Falso.
And then we have...
JJ False.
And my name is Naomi Real.
Enid Fake.
We got Enid Fake. I guess we have...
Live on the scene.
Live on the scene.
Through social media, it has gone out that Profeta...
Entre comillas.
Say it again. Say it again.
Profeta Shawn, last name Bolz. We don't know how to pronounce that, so we're not even going to try. Church of Bethel has responded to accusations of Shawn Bolz being a false profeta.
Wow.
And that's not like an everyday accusation. That's a strong accusation, especially in the spiritual world.
Yeah, we haven't had somebody being accused of that in a long time.
I mean,
it's hard to be accused of that.
you think it's hard to be accused for that? I think it's easy.
No.
It's easy to accuse somebody. It's hard to get caught though. As he did.
Now, he wasn't smart about it. Shawn Bolz was not smart about how he did it. How? One of the topics we talked about during the JJ and Santi bloque was that there's social media nowadays, so everything is easily accessible. Shawn Bolz, we're just gonna call him Shawn.
Yeah.
Shawn Profeta.
Prophet Shawn
was accused of actually people he was prophesying going through their social media the day before the events, finding out everything about these people, and then at the time of him prophesying, he was either recalling from memory or reading from his tablet, literally all the information that he gathered from these people. So to other people who don't know, they like, oh my God, profeta. But for the people who are receiving, they're like, it's like all this information is like public information. There's nothing like en la intimidad.
So básicamente este profeta que se llama Shawn dicen, y está viendo algunos videos que él tus profecías las hacían con una tablet en la mano. And it's true, you can see he always have the tablet. And I never seen that, because every time you get a prophecy, every time you see somebody like, oh my God, like, tengo que hablar con esa persona, they never have no electronics in their hand. Es el Espíritu Santo guiando. But he always had his iPod on him. So it's like, there are things that are connecting. If you always have your tablet, what does that mean? And you can see him like seeing it and kept prophesying. So it's just like, why are you seeing that red flag now? Like, no entiendo. And this is like, so like Santi, live on the scenes, you know, dijo, this statement was from the church Bethel, okay? This is a statement that they just threw out us. And they said, plot twist, this was not in my February bingo card that this was going to happen. And when you do some research about it, they say this was investigated in 2019.
Whoa. We're in 2025.
We in 2025.
6 years later?
6 years later to publicly come out and give a statement is crazy works, okay? So I have no idea what's going on, but I just feel like it's super crazy that if you know and you investigated that, why are you coming out 6 years later with this information that everybody needed 6 years later?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this whole situation is crazy because at the end of the day, like, the only people that are affected are the real people. So it's kind of like, bruh, you got people doing that. Honestly, That's been going on for a minute. Like, he's not the only dude. He's not the first dude to do that, and he's not gonna be the last either. Like, él no es el primero ni el último que va a hacer esa vuelta, porque van a seguir gente haciéndolo. Pero los cristianos se tienen que poner más creativos. Ya está, ya tú sabes, en tu Facebook, si me profetizan a mí de que JJ y no me dicen mi nombre real, saque feca. ¿Me entiendes? Ya sabes, en su Facebook pongan nombres alias y cosas. Pongan que viven en Bronx, New York, si viven en Connecticut o lo que sea. But like, we got to start getting creative against whatever is going on with these people.
One of the main accusations came from a woman. I forgot her name. Let's call her Fabulosa.
Yeah, I don't think they give a name.
I know they gave a name for her boyfriend, but Fabulosa, she had a boyfriend at the time that was very abusive of her, and she was in a domestic like relationship.
Yeah.
And that prophet went up to her and basically said that this is like the guy
from God.
Yeah, that relationship was from God.
The prophet said that God was giving me to my ex-husband, who ended up almost killing me, and I went through with this wedding because of this prophetic word. I got confirmation that he is a con artist, and I know we knew he was a con artist, okay? Like, we've been knowing this. There has been a lot of speculation around this prophet for years that he gets all of his words off of Facebook and social media. And throughout the times that I've shared my story, I have said that the information that he had was directly available on my Facebook. And let me show you a clip of what he said, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it.
Phone last night. I saw 50, but I know that 50 is Jubilee year, and there's something about God's giving you a Jubilee. What does that mean to you? Oh, your girlfriend's name is Jubilee? That's awesome. Well, God's giving you this girl. And when we ordered the food this morning, by the way, this is a huge advertisement in the midst of prophesying, and it's a prophetic advertisement. That tomato pie cafe place is like level 10 awesome. And we've been eating there for the mornings, and it's like they've been bringing us food kindly enough, and they're amazing. But does she have something to do with the Tomato Pie Cafe? Does she? She works there, okay.
So that's the clip. That is the clip that got me to get married, because I was dating this guy, and there were a lot of red flags that were popping up, but this prophetic word was given that God was giving my ex Jubilee, which is me. I've had a lot of religious trauma due to this. I mean, obviously, I stayed in this abusive marriage for years because I thought that this was God's will for my life. I thought that I needed to be with this man.
So she believed that for some time. Like, oh, maybe it's going to get better.
No, and he said, you're going to marry your boyfriend. He said, you're going to marry your boyfriend.
Listen, woman. Si un profeta te viene a ti, de que ese es tu hombre, y el tipo te da, like, come on, bro. Like, what many more red flags do you need?
Literal.
In her head, maybe she thought she was gonna.
Yeah, but like, maybe it's gonna change.
Because remember, he said that es un profeta. Like,
but that's when we come back to, like, stop depending on these prophets, bro. Like, deja de depender en profeta, pa' palabra. Like,
and this woman, she believed the prophet for a while until she realized, like, this is not it. And then she went and looked back at how the prophet like told her everything, all the information. She looked at her Facebook. Literally everything he told her was on her Facebook.
And she almost, and he explained, the person that is like explaining the story and like giving the testimony, lo dice como que he was abusive. Él era alforetado.
Oh, spicy.
Spicy. You know, no está. He was abusive and he mistreated her. He got so dangerous that he attempted against her life. The boyfriend. So this is what we see, like, wow, like esa palabra que ese profeta le dio a esta muchacha,
le dio esperanza.
Le dio esperanza y completamente le podía quitar la vida. Y otra cosa, my man, okay, he's been in the ministry for 30 years. Let's say that. Let's give it a backstory. He's been in the ministry for almost 30 years or more. He has 160K on YouTube, 209 on Instagram, okay? So we're not talking about anybody. No talking about anybody. El tipo tiene
el ministerio ya formado ya.
Formado, tiene su fama, su nombre tiene valor, ¿verdad? Él también fue acusado de inappropriate behavior at work. He was accused of sexual harassment in a hostile work environment.
Yeah.
And he actually didn't deny it. He didn't deny it. This was when he was in his ministry. He didn't deny
crazy.
it. We talk about a man that literally muchas cosas están saliendo ahora que no, they're not good goods.
No está haciendo fruto.
No está dando fruto del Espíritu. Si viste el episodio pasado, si tú tienes el Espíritu Santo, como dijo aquí el siervo profeta.
Oh, yo no soy profeta.
JJ.
Yo chequeo Facebook.
Josian dijo que si tú tienes el Espíritu Santo, los frutos, ¿sabes? Por los frutos los conoceréis. So, literalmente estamos viendo un hombre que da profecía. Is well known to this day. If you go to his Instagram, he still have like a lot of followers and he's still posting videos. People are loving him on Instagram and things like that. Pero en la vida real, behind closed doors, están saliendo cosas que mucha gente sabían that they didn't do anything. So vemos cuando yo estaba viendo esto and we were like, okay, breaking news, we're going to talk about it. I'm like, wow, lo que dice la Biblia, que primeramente se van a levantar falsos profetas y segundo que no todo el mundo que dice Señor, Señor, Dios lo conoce. Like, crazy to think how in the world are you, like, cómo se estuvieran sintiendo esas personas ahora después de ese statement que recibieron, if it's 30 years of ministry, you know the prophecies that men did? ¿Cómo estuvieran sintiendo esas personas a este momento? Like, wow, like, was my prophecy a lie? I don't get it.
I mean, yeah, how'd you feel? But also, how'd you feel when you tell Bethel and their response is, oh, we don't want to publicly defame this or announce this breaking news to the world because essentially they wanted to protect like
the gospel.
Yeah, the truth of prophecy.
Yeah.
Also the truth of prophecy, because once the situation comes out, and Bethel's a big church, so like once that comes out, like a lot of people are gonna know. So then I was gonna start doubting, oh, like is this prophecy real? Well, those are doubts that like you should be having, and that you should be like consulting with God rather than just relying on men for that.
Yeah.
So it was on Bethel's bad part for withholding this information for 6 years. We're in 2025. This happened in 2019, and some of the interactions between him and the man were like it was a lot. It wasn't just like just a simple like, hey, like you're a false prophet. Like they've had they quoted as deep, long, hard conversations where they talked about this, the abuse and what was it, sexual harassment in the work environment,
And a hostile work environment as well.
Yeah, and again, he did not deny it. He said, oh, that was me in the past. Okay, it was you in the past, but you were still prophesying over people and you didn't say anything.
Yeah,
that was you in the past. You've been in the ministry
why
for
you kept
30
going?
years.
Yeah,
why you kept going, man? Like 30 years is actually insane.
No, and it's crazy. And I imagine this Fabulosa must be heartbroken knowing that even though this happened to her and she was in that situation, the church she was attending to isn't doing anything. And that's like, as we talked about in the previous, el apoyo fraternal, bro.
Do you think the church has to... ¿Tú crees que como iglesia, vamos sobre que tú eres un pastor, do you think the church has to protect the prophet o al pueblo?
Al pueblo.
Obligado.
Porque literalmente el ministerio de él era más o menos
Or the
aparte.
ministry. Yeah, or
No, era
protect,
aparte.
or should I say protect? Should they protect the ministries or the people in the ministries?
They should protect the people because his ministry was separate. Like ellos pusieron, oh, like we're not gonna deal with you no more. And the thing is like,
But he was in the church though,
Yeah,
so
but-
they were protecting him over the people.
por eso estoy diciendo, and that's wrong. You should protect the people because you don't know all the things that he said. You don't know what's true or not. So in 2019, they can literally like bring a statement like, sí, en estos momentos van a creer que todo es una falsa profecía. But it's better to say it now and stop it so like he can get help or whatever he needs than when 6 years later, let the man do the same thing for 6 years.
Claro.
And now we have more time in our hands to be like, damn, like which one was a prophecy from God? Which one was him on Facebook and Instagram. So le dio más tiempo para seguir haciendo seguir siendo un sinvergüenza, básicamente. Porque no me van a decir a mí que tú como iglesia en el 2019 you find this out y como Betel dice como que oh no, we respect the decision that the leaders made in 2019 that they didn't want to like como dijeron ellos como que no querían asustar a la gente y un montón de cosas. I wouldn't respect that. Porque si yo sé, vamos a decir, si yo sé que somos nosotros tres y uno de nosotros tres nos está diciendo cosas que son bíblicas, I'm taking you out until you get right. And then I have to fix everything you did wrong and say, look, like, Santiago dijo que el arca de Noé lo hizo Moisés. It's wrong, fue Noé. And fix that. Porque si no, like, si dejo pasar 5 años más, 6 años más, then I have to, like, arreglar un montón de cosas. So, esto es lo que tiene problema la iglesia ahora. Now, everybody's, like, double guessing, even more. Todas esas profecías, ahora, ¿quién las dio? ¿Dios o Instagram? So, ellos no protegieron a la gente. They just want to protect their image, not the people. So, I feel like
But don't you feel like almost every church is like that?
I don't think so. I mean,
I feel like, because let's say, if somebody's, well, I'm not, obviamente estoy generalizando, no estoy hablando sobre cierta tal iglesia, obviamente estamos hablando de Betel, de esa iglesia. So, la iglesia siempre va a tener el interés de la imagen de la iglesia. Like, vamos a suponer, si las personas saben o piensan que una persona es un pecador activamente, o una persona que está viviendo una vida en pecado, pues ellos, o no solamente una vida en pecado, o if the church finds out or think they found out about something, they're gonna, no questions asked, they will sit that person.
Yeah,
but I feel like if only the church, if only the leaders of the church knew what the person was like what he was, because I bet you some people knew what he was doing already.
Yeah, but that's the thing what you're saying. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
If I know somebody que una persona está en pecado y la iglesia la sienta solamente para proteger de esto, pero eso es lo que tú estás hablando. Una persona está, vamos a decir, en pecado. We talk about a man that actively was prophesying falsely over people.
Yeah, and sexual harassment, which is sin.
And sexual harassment, and a hostile work environment that you can, tú lo puedes describir de muchas maneras, eso, y lo puedes romper entre los, significados.
Categories, yeah.
But eso está afectando más gente. Maybe una persona que está pecando está afectando a ti y otra persona.
Sí, pero lo que yo digo.
Affecting a lot of people.
Pero lo que yo digo, yo sé y lo entiendo totalmente, pero lo que yo digo, ellos sacaron ese comunicado, ¿tú crees? Porque el público se dio cuenta, los miembros de la iglesia se dieron cuenta, o porque ellos dijeron, wow, moralmente, un líder de esa iglesia dijo, moralmente esto está mal.
Nosotros no sabemos.
I mean, but if it's been going for 6 years, clearly.
No, pero esa es la cosa. Uno, al final de cabo, no se sabe por qué lo hicieron. Maybe una persona se levantó y dijo, wait, why are we not talking about this? And the leaders 6 years ago, 5 years ago didn't talk about it. We need to, like,
address it, yeah.
Address this. O literalmente, mucha gente se dio cuenta, pero no hay... Yo solamente he escuchado diferentes testimonios, pero que nadie se ha levantado fuertemente y ha hecho como que una huelga sobre esto. But we don't know. Porque vamos a decir, como la iglesia, ¿cuál es la Hillsong? Que salió hasta como 4 documentales sobre eso. Eso fueron un montón de gente que se formó, like, a revolution against the church. Porque todos compartieron un testimonio, todos se unieron hasta un punto que dijeron, okay, no. Uno no sabe en realidad qué pasó. I'm just against the fact that they waited so long for them to talk.
Yeah. I feel like that's something that the church in general just needs to fix.
I feel like that's one of the dangers, because then when you also rapid fire, oh yeah, this happened to church, oh this happened to church, oh this happened to church, people start to lose faith
in the church.
Not only that, within that church, because that just shows when you have multiple instances, because he wasn't just like a one-time like preacher or anything. He had like gone to like prophetic conferences,
of course, yeah.
And like had been there multiple times. So you sort of lose faith. The confidence in that church
you
for the fact,
faith, yeah.
that because of lack of spiritual discernment within that church. Like, how are you gonna let that happen? Like, if you're a leader, if you're in La Intimidad 24/7 for this event, how are you gonna let something like that happen?
Bueno, acuérdate que si es una persona que está en un poder, si está más alto que tú, vamos a suponer que tú vayas a cualquier pastor y le digas, pastor, yo tuve un sueño, tal y tal cosa pasó. Y el sueño fue de Dios y el sueño fue real, pero esa persona te dice, pues, yo no creo en eso. Tú no puedes hacer nada. Maybe hay gente que fueron por él y dice, pastor, yo creo que usted es falso. Maybe. There was somebody blunt, that was probably something like, profeta, yo creo que de verdad usted está medio raro. Vi tu tablet. Vamos a suponer, like, por ejemplo, nosotros tocamos.
Yeah.
I could see when the pastor's like scrolling down on his message. Like this Sunday he said, I'm only in the first point. And I really saw, like, my man scroll all the way down and it was a lot left. And he preached for like 50 minutes already. So it's like you could tell.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, un pianista o alguien vio que ese tipo tenía algo en su tablet diciendo el nombre de la persona, de que fecha de nacimiento, seguro social.
Que abrió Facebook.
No, y literalmente la iglesia con cosas así, lo que tenemos que aprender es que la iglesia está llamada para buscar discernimiento, para completamente buscar presencia y para no caer en los falsos profetas, porque tristemente va a seguir pasando, van a seguir levantándose un montón y todo
bíblico.
Todos los evangelios te lo dicen que en los últimos días se van a levantar personas que van a decir hasta yo soy Cristo. ¿Qué tenemos que hacer nosotros como iglesia? Pedir discernimiento, no escuchar a todo el mundo. A mí una cosa que me enseñaron desde chiquita, mi abuela es pastora, do not let anybody touch you. Like, pray over you, do not let anybody just pray over you. A random person just come and try to pray over you, no. Porque tú no sabes si es mandado por el enemigo, o si es mandado por Dios, o si es mandado por él mismo que...
Sus emociones.
No, you have to have discernment. Tú tienes que pedirle al Señor. Si te dan una profecía, está bien, tú la recibes y se la presentas al Señor. Was this you? Is this real? Was this Facebook? Like, you have to ask. Tú no puedes dejar que venga cualquier persona a profetizar sobre ti. Una cosa cuando I was reading this and I was like, diadre, Pastor Juan have Facebook too. Was this? Nah. Like, I'm like, bro, one thing that you have to see is like,
we watching you, Pastor Juan. If you're watching this right now, we checking.
You know what's funny? Pastor Juan actually has no social media now.
No.
I don't know if you guys noticed.
No, the thing is, like, this was never a social media. Like, this was literally my close friends that knew this. So once he told me and he prophesied over me, I felt it was from God.
Claro.
Literalmente tú
lo sientes. Tú sientes la paz y la confirmación. Like, it was something that was talked about. Que nunca en la vida nosotros pusimos en Facebook que vamos a hacer un podcast. Esto que
you
lo
never
we never
asked
said
me
that.
like, vamos a hacer un podcast, mi gente.
But how about this? How about you feeling that peace? Like, let's say you're going through a hard situation and someone just telling you, like, even if they're a false prophet, someone telling, like, oh, like the Lord says, like, you document it on Facebook, they see it and they say, oh, the Lord tells me everything's gonna go well in the end. Even just hearing the good news.
Pero es que esos son, vamos a suponer, de que todo va a estar bien. Eso está en la palabra, like, tú me estás dando cosas superficiales. Como tú y yo relajamos algunas veces, y que tú vas a ir a las naciones, like está bien, ok, like, tú vas a las naciones, pero sé específico. ¿Me entiendes? Como que, oh, no, de que tú vas a predicar el evangelio. Todos somos llamados a predicar la palabra. Like, like, you know, like, cosas superficiales así. Es como que, oh, like, you take it with like a grain of salt. It's like, thank you for the word, but bro, the Bible says ir y predicar el evangelio a toda criatura. Like, we're all called to preach. You know what I'm saying? So, está llegando un punto ahora que el don de ciencia, like, la gente tiene que tener el oído bien afinado, no solamente para escuchar a Dios, pero también para ser certero en su profecía y decir cosas que solamente tú se las has dicho a Dios. A este punto ya los profetas tienen que estar sumamente finos de que eso, de que estar dando cédula, ya esa vaina se acabó ya, de que estar dando cédula, fecha de nacimiento, dirección, tu nombre, like, eso ya se acabó. Like, ya la gente no va a creer en eso. Y por eso yo he visto muchas veces que Dios ahora lo que está haciendo con profetas verdaderos es que le dice a la persona lo que le pidió a Dios hace una semana, o qué pasó en tal fecha que se murió esta persona, tal y tal así. Like, they're specific with the dates, the time and everything. Cosas que solamente esa persona la puede saber.
Sí, son cosas como que Dios trabaja en maneras maravillosas y Dios no te va, o sea, no te va a decir cosas que están
No va a
en tu
ser
Facebook.
superficial. No va a ser
Like,
superficial.
He's not gonna work like that. Cuando Dios te da profecía, te da cosas que solamente tú y él saben.
Ujú.
A mí me dijeron una vez, like, yo estoy ahí cuando tú estás en tu esquina del beanbag llorando y un montón de cosas. How did that person know I got a beanbag? Like,
Claro.
what is this? Dios solamente es el que sabe. So, discernimiento, mi gente. Like,
No, but it's kind of like, I don't want to be that type of show where we're just hitting people and knocking the other down. Like, at the end of the day, like, God can still forgive that man and really use him to prophesize for real at some point of
But
his
you
life.
have to rebuild yourself from that.
Literally, like, so, like, we're just showcasing this as breaking news, of course, because it is a thing that's happening within the church, and of course, we're a churchy podcast. Not only that, but we want the best for you guys and to learn about all the things that are going on and how to discover basically false prophets. But at the end of the day, that dude is still human. If that same day that he's whatever he did, he sexually harassed somebody or he told somebody, if that same day he repented and told Christ, to forgive him for all his sins, Christ will, las cosas viejas pasaron, aquí todas son hechas nuevas. And Christ will use him again. So.
Literal, a veces no tenemos que entender que no somos perfectos, el hombre también falla, los profetas también fallan, pero tengan cuidado, mi gente. It's getting hard out here, so discernimiento.
Breaking news with Enid Talks. Breaking news with Enid Talks.
This is fresh, and this podcast is gonna come out as soon as possible.
As soon as I can get it.
Tomorrow,
Hey, yo.
early in the morning. We ain't sleeping tonight.
No way.
Oh, bro.
Guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining us for this Enid Talks breaking news. This is Santiago, today's host for Enid Talk breaking news. Hope you guys have all a blessed day. If you need to receive Christ, all good. That's the end of all, guys. Shalom.
Bye.
Shout out to Shawn.